Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Betty Kappa. I am the president of the French American Business Council of West Florida here in Tampa Bay. And I am very excited and pleased to, as know, or some of you already know, our partner USF, University of South Florida, USF World and USF Education. We are really working together. And today I'm very, very excited to have our presenter, our speaker, Dwayne Peterson, who is going to talk about how to recruit talent from USF. So a little view about Dwayne Peterson, a little bio. Dwayne Peterson is a nationally recognized career educator, strategist, and higher education career services leader with over 15 years of experience facilitating career development for clients and students at all educational levels. Currently, he serves as the Director of Industry to Campus Connections at the University of South Florida, where he leads a team of employer and industry relations professionals who develop, innovate programs and services that increase candidates' connection to opportunities. In his work, he consults with employers of all sizes and across diverse industries, as well as graduate programs on customized campus, recruiting strategies, and best practice for hiring USF candidates. Dwayne holds a Master of Science in College Student Personnel from Miami University in Ohio, a Master of Business Administration from the University of North Florida, and Bachelor of Arts in Music from the University of South Florida. He is a certified career development facilitator and an active member of the National Association for College and Employers, the National Career Development Association, and the Florida Association of Colleges and Employers. So thank you, Dwayne, for being here. And as busy as you are, and I'm sure your timing. So thank you for being here to talk about hiring locally. A lot of members and a lot of people here, business owners don't know. So that's a big opportunity for them to learn about USF program. So thank you and welcome, Dwayne.
Thank you for that very warm introduction, Betty, and thank you to you and the rest of the FRAMCO leadership for inviting me to come in and speak to your members. I'm really excited to be here, everyone. Obviously, as you heard in my bio, helping our local industry partners and employers connect with our students is what I do. That is literally my job. And we're working to make it as easy and as simple as possible. USF's a big place, but we want it to feel small. And through the work that I do in the Career Center at USF and all of the campus departments across the university, we're very, very committed to your success. So today I'm excited to share a little bit more about how to actually do that. How do you build a relationship with USF? How do you build relationships with the candidates that you're looking to recruit? Some of you might be looking for part-time workers. Some of you might be looking for interns. Some of you might have full-time needs. So whatever it is that you need, you have a pool of talent right here at USF, right in your back door, that is ready and available and willing to join your organizations. So for today, I'm hoping to talk about sort of four things and then really open this up for questions from you. I really want this to be a conversation and a dialogue. We want to give you the tools that you need to be successful and to help you get started really right after this webinar. So I'm going to share a little bit about USF. I know some of you know USF well. FRAMCO certainly knows USF well, a very strong partner with multiple departments and colleges across USF. But but I want to make sure everybody knows who we are and how we're a little bit different than other state universities. Then I'm going to share a little bit of the secret sauce, if you will. How do you actually recruit early career talent? Students for internships or new graduates for full-time jobs. How do you actually do that? And a lot of that has to do with how you message yourself and build a presence on our campus through various activities and strategies for connection to those candidates. Nobody at the university, including the Career Center, can place students with your organization. So this is not a placement service. Our goal is to help you build a presence as an employer of choice for employers. So you're attracting the right kinds of people to your organization and to your opportunities. And then ultimately, the two of you are making a mutually beneficial decision to work together and for you to hire that person. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to build that messaging, and then a little bit about some of the ways that you can build a customized or designed campus presence process. And some of you are, just starting your business. Some of you are in the middle of growing your business. Some of you are very well established and are looking to expand your business. Wherever you are in that business development cycle, there are multiple ways to get connected for very little to no investment, all the way to ways in which you can give quite a bit to build this presence. So we're going to make sure you know sort of all the avenues in order to do that, to fit the strategies that make sense for your organization. And then I'm going to share a couple of cool programs, talk to you a little bit about things we've got going on in the fall, and then I'm going to give you the link to get started. So it's really that simple. So if you have questions throughout this webinar, please just throw them in the chat. I'll try to address them as we go along, but I'll certainly leave time for questions at the end. So I represent the Center for Career and Professional Development. We're the centralized career center at USF. USF, as I mentioned, is a very, very big place. And so sometimes it can be challenging for employers to figure out where to actually get started. So we are your sort of starting place. Think of us as your gate to the rest of the university. Our team of industry relations professionals will connect with you, talk with you with what you'd like to do at the university, who you'd like to meet, and really can serve as your introduction to anybody and everybody at the university. As you're going to see later in the webinar, there are 240 academic programs at this university, and it is a complicated place to navigate if you're doing it at the programmatic or college level. So knowing you have a centralized office that can help serve as sort of your introduction or your facilitator of connections across the university, and there may be talent that lives across the university, and we want you to have as wide a net as possible when you're looking for potential employees. Again, whether you're looking for part-time employees, internships, full-time, we can help support you. So I think a lot of you might know about our Tampa campus, but we actually are 3 campuses, but 1 USF, and our career center goes across all 3 of those campuses. We're led by the same leader, an associate vice president, Dr. Addie Buckley-Burnell, and we all are coordinated in our ways in which we support employers recruiting from our various campuses. Students are assigned a home campus, but can take classes across all 3 campuses. Some of our campuses have very specific activities happening on their campus for you to recruit. So if you really want to connect with those specific campuses, those students on that particular campus, but then our large scale events for the center across all 3 campuses. So you very well could be attracting talent from our Sarasota Manatee campus, our St. Petersburg campus, or our Tampa campus through your recruiting activities. So just some things that you should know about USF, and there's a lot of words on this slide, but I think the biggest thing I want you to know is that USF is a prestigious research university. We are only one of 3 that have been recognized, and there's only about 70 or so universities who are members of the American Association, the Association of American Universities, AANU. We are very proud of this distinction because what it means is that the quality of research that our faculty is doing, the level of impact and grants and and patents and publishable research that's changing our world is coming out of our university. And so what that means for you as an employer is that you can feel confident that our students are receiving a world-class education. I think this is a real gem here in the Tampa Bay area that we have this designation, that you have a world-leading research university right here in your backyard that you can access for talent. We are a big place, 49,000 students, again, across all three of our campuses. The majority of our campuses, our students are at the Tampa campus, but there are also about 7,000 or so at St. Pete and about 2,000 or so at Sarasota Manatee. We are a top 50 university and have been for 6 years in a row, and we're really proud of that. You can see a little bit about our freshman profile. So again, very academically driven students seek education at USF. USF has long been known and definitely in the recent decade focused on community development and community impact here in the Tampa Bay area. I've worked at other universities in this state system, and I can tell you that there is no university like USF that commits to our community's success. And you can see that just a little bit by the economic impact our university has on the community, the level of patents that we do, and just our general focus on ensuring that our community is successful in any way that we can. So you'll see USF pop up in just about every activity happening in the community, and that's intentionally designed. There are many universities that separate those relationships, but not USF. We take it very, very seriously. We're proud of the vibrancy of our student body. It is also very intentionally designed. This is a very vibrant and distinctive and diverse student body. We are proud of our first generation students, our Pell eligible students, of which I was one when I went to this university. We are proud to be one of the leading universities for social mobility, and I am a living example of that. And that just shows you the level of investment we have in our students. We are a Purple Star campus designated by the state of Florida's Department of Education. That is a designation for this level of support and guidance we give to military connected families and service members. So we're proud you are going to meet veterans and military connected families and service members through our student body. We are also, and I know Framco will care very much about this, a very globally focused university, and that is very intentionally designed. We have representation from 145 countries, and we're proud of that vibrancy and that diversity in terms of our global perspective. I also just want you to know that USF is very committed to the career readiness of our students, and so much so that every university, when they're going for accreditation, has to have a project that they implement over the course of 5 years to enhance the quality of the academic program. And I think it speaks volumes that USF has chosen experiential centered learning as its academic quality enhancement plan. That means over the next 5 years, we're going to be scaling career readiness and experiential learning for every student, no matter what you studied. You know, some of our degree programs are very professional. They connect right to careers, and it's very obvious. Think something like accounting or nursing, right? Those are connected directly to careers. But majority of especially our undergraduate programs are broad learning. They're learning all kinds of skills that can be applicable and transferable to a multitude of different types of functions. But we want to make sure that no matter what you study, no matter what our students study, that they have all the skill sets they need to hit the ground running when they get to graduation, and that they're ready to launch and start their careers. And so we're going to be looking to you, all of you, to provide these sort of learning opportunities for our students, and really infusing and embedding that inside of our curriculum across every one of our programs. So more to come on some of the ways we've started doing that work already. So that program is called Excel. You might see that through our various marketing. As I mentioned, USF is a very, very big place, 14 colleges, 240 majors. All I want you to know is that there is talent for you. And the Center for Career and Professional Development, through my team, is committed to making this as accessible to you as possible without you having to build individual major level relationships across the university. Take, for example, if you were interested in something like students who have information systems or data science sort of backgrounds. Many of you might want talent that can analyze data sets. If you were to do that at the major level or even at the college level, you might be looking at anywhere from 6 to 8 different programs across 4 different colleges. I think that would be pretty exhausting for you to manage as an employer. And so through the Center for Career and Professional Development, we're going to help you cast a wide net so that you can really make sure that you don't miss out on any talent that might live in places that you didn't think to look or didn't know that those majors existed. And so we're going to make that very easy for you. Now, in addition to the breadth that we can provide you, you also may want to connect deeper with very specific majors, and we're happy to facilitate those connections. Various colleges have additional support for employers inside of colleges or sometimes even inside of specific majors. And we want you to also connect deeply in those programs as well. So it's a breadth of connection and a deep connection as well, and we'll help facilitate those connections. If you haven't heard, we're very proud of our newest college. We believe to be the first named college for artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and computing, our Bellini College, which launches this fall. So we're very, very excited to see, and we're already starting to do some programs to connect you to that talent as well. We also believe strongly that major does not equal career. And I think some of you on the call might be living examples of that. As you heard in my bio, I myself am a music major. If someone had told me when I was a music student that I'd grow up to be a career educator, I would have said that's not a real job. There's no way that I ever could have predicted that this is where my career would take me. So I think you all know that students can study things and signal to you their academic interest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're committed to that field as a career for the rest of their lives. And so we'll help you navigate through that as well. We want you to feel connected to a single person in our office. We have a team of relationship managers that will support your success. And once you get connected with us, we'll assign you based on your organization to one of our staff members who will support you. If your organization is primarily housed in St. Peters or based in St. Petersburg or in the Sarasota Manatee area, you also might be assigned some member of our team in one of those regional campuses, but would also facilitate your connection to the other campuses as well. So if you're working with Tampa, we're certainly going to make sure that you can get access to talent in St. Petersburg and in Sarasota Manatee and vice versa. So, what's the secret sauce? How do you actually attract today's talent? The time is going so fast and there's so much I'd like to say about this, but I want to make it as simple as possible. There are basically 5 steps to attracting college students, and it's a little bit different than just putting a job on a job board and waiting for applications to come in. It's really about thinking about what makes your organization special and designing an intentional messaging and then promoting that messaging to attract the kind of talent you're looking for. So in 5 steps, it's very simple. What is your goal? Some of you might be interested in part-time employees. Some of you might be interested in internships. Some of you might be experienced hires or looking for people with bachelor's degrees or master's degrees. You need to know your goals so you can design a strategy that will help you attract them. Once you know your goal, you need messaging. We call this the employer value proposition. What's special about you as an organization that our early career talent is going to attract to? And you want to be attracting the right kinds of people. So that means you want to dispel some people as well that are not a good fit for your organization and attracting others. Once you have that message, thinking about the timing and promotion of that message, and that's really thinking about the academic calendar. Universities run on an academic calendar, and so you want to be thinking about the timing of when you're looking to recruit, because if you recruit and outside of that time, you may not be as successful because simply the students aren't engaged in that process. And then, of course, designing that campus presence, building that promotion, and then whatever you do, making sure that you leave a positive and memorable impact in anyone that you connect with, and ensuring they have a seamless and easy campus candidate experience. Some of you might ask questions about who is Generation Z, this generation we're trying to recruit. I want to just show you, there was a study done just recently in March about what things are very, very important. And as you can see at the top of the list, this is a generation very sensitive to job stability. They really want to make sure that they can pay their rent. As you all know, we're facing high prices on everything, and young people are feeling that pressure. And I think they understand that they have to start their career at a lower level, but the level has to be enough enough for them to be able to pay for themselves and to be well. And so that's something that you'll see come through on multiple surveys and something you should think about in your messaging. And then I'll just kind of show you some of these other things that I think are very important. This is a very relationship focused generation. They want to connect one-on-one with employers to really understand who you are and what value they might bring to your organization. Less important things to this generation. I think it's interesting because this generation has a media profile as being a very self-expressive generation. They are expressing themselves in ways we haven't seen previous generations do. But what the survey data is telling us is they understand that there is a sort of a professional image or a professional brand they must carry inside the workplace that wouldn't be appropriate to share all of their self-expression. They certainly are looking for authenticity and individualism, being able to be a unique individual, but understand that they can't always express themselves in every environment in the same way. Less concerned about your being a part of a well brand or well recognized name. So everybody just know that if you're a small organization to a large, well-known organization, you have the equal playing field to recruit this generation. So a little bit about value proposition here, but thinking about the types of things, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a worksheet on how you might work through some of this messaging. But quickly, you want to think about your purpose, think about opportunities for growth, think about your value and your culture. What kinds of people are successful in your organization? What kind of values do they hold? Thinking about the pay and the perks, this generation particularly really wants you to be transparent with your pay. They're okay with the pay. They just want to understand what it is. And you'll find that this generation will ask about pay much sooner in the employment process than what I think other generations before them did. Like I was taught, don't talk about pay until you get an offer. But this is a generation who's very concerned about their livelihood. And so you might find they're very curious about this before they even start down this process. And then finally, first impressions. If you have USF affiliated employees, alumni, current students, interns, use them to your advantage to help tell your story on our campus. And then building your presence can start as easy as having an online presence through our system Handshake. I'm going to share a little bit about that for you, but you'll see here you can build beyond that. You could do interviews on our campus and information sessions. You could build a workshop for students. You can come to our many career fairs and recruiting events. You could build something custom inside of a department or with student organizations, even your own recruiting day. You could sponsor career development programs, you could sponsor events, you can sponsor all kinds of things outside the university. Whatever you decide to do, you have support both in terms of developing that recruiting plan and promoting your recruiting plan. We'll take your job posting, help you promote it out to a targeted group of lists of things. If you're not able to come to campus but want to have that presence, there are virtual options. We want to make this easy, simple, and make sure you have all the support you need to be successful in your activities. I mentioned the importance of following the academic calendar. We follow 3 terms at USF. We have our fall term, our spring term, and our summer term, and it's displayed here in the presentation. You want to time your activities, even something like a job posting. You want a job posting to run the length of the academic calendar. You don't want your job posting to be out for long periods of time. It gets stale, students start getting skeptical of the job. So we'll kind of train you to turn your job and turn your job off and then repost and turn on. So you're maximizing when students are in Handshake, our online system for connecting the opportunities, as well as the various other activities that you might do to ensure you're timing that well. We understand that as a business, that's not how employment works for you. You very well could have openings that come up outside of this window, and we'll work with you to figure out how to still help you have a reach, but understand the most best success comes when it's timed well, when students are engaged in the process. A little bit more about Handshake. That's really a great place to get started for us. Handshake's an online tool. It really lets you connect with all kinds of universities across the state and across the country. But USF candidates, students are required to have a Handshake presence. It's really the place that you start for us. It's absolutely free for you to use Handshake. It doesn't cost you anything. We will make this easy for you. We'll help your organization create an account. We'll help you post jobs. Betty knows with Framco, who is looking for an intern right now. we took care of that all for Betty. We helped her create an account. We helped her post the job. She's got applicants coming to her email. We'll do that all for you as well. And then really just making sure that you maximizing your presence in that system, because that's where students are going to get introduced to you. Now they're going to want to engage with you beyond that, but that's a place that you can get started. As I mentioned, there are many things you can do on our campus. I want to make sure you know what they are from all of our career fairs. So that's coming to a job fair and actually meeting candidates who are interested. We do industry-focused job fairs. So depending on what kinds of roles you're looking to fill, you'll find a fair that makes sense where you might find talent interested in those roles. If you want to come and just teach students about your organization, we can set those up. That's called an information session. Maybe you want to come and meet one-on-one. We can help facilitate an interview schedule for you or a process we call talent discovery. Maybe your organization has a very structured interview process and you can't really add additional interviews to that process. And that's totally okay. But still coming and meeting one-on-one with candidates, you could do this after a career fair, or you could really do it anytime throughout the recruiting season. Even if it's just a 10-minute one-on-one exchange, that's called talent discovery. It's just a way of building a one-on-one relationship. Those are things we can help facilitate for you. You could build things at the department level if there's majors you're really interested in connecting with. And of course, I mentioned about sponsorships and gifts. These are things that really come with lots of recognition. Usually you get really great priority. Think about it of being a prioritized organization when you are part of our sponsorship plans. So I want you to know, as I mentioned, all of that stuff there, and there was a lot to cover, but you'll find it in our recruitment strategy planning guide. I'm going to drop this link here in the chat. And Charles, if we can make sure that this gets sent to any of our attendees, that would be helpful so folks can get it. But this is a worksheet, a work guide that goes through everything I just covered, but in far much more detail. And it's very simple checklist formats where you can really check the list of ensuring that you're successful in your recruiting activity. I want to mention about two special programs, one of which Framco is a part of, but your organizations are certainly invited to be a part of these as well. There are pools of students, and we're looking to build more of these that come with their own funding for jobs and for internships. If you are a nonprofit, you might be eligible for our community-based federal work study program. I think a lot of you know what federal work study is. It's a federal award or aid program that gives students access to money they could use towards tuition in exchange for work or service. They don't have to necessarily work at the university. They can work with our community partners in the community, and they bring their federal work study award with them. So essentially, they have funding from the federal government that pays their salary. If you're not a nonprofit, or if you are, but are looking for a very specialized population, our humanities program has its own program called the Mellon Humanities Internship Program. It funds short-term projects that are around 50 hours in length, and it comes with a $20 an hour salary for that, so a $1,000 stipend given to the student. If you're a nonprofit status, you get that fully covered, so the student comes and works for you for free. That's the case of Framco, who will be having an intern through this program. If you're a for-profit organization, we could do a split, a 50-50 split, where we will cover half and you cover half. So for $500, you get a university student who can come and do a special project for you. And I'm going to share with you a website that'll have all of these details of these various funding programs as well. Oh, I wanted to mention that the Mellon program includes our World Languages program, which includes our French program. So if you're looking for someone who might have some French language skills, your Mellon program has money to support those short-term projects. So I wanted to just highlight, again, we have a whole host of things happening in the fall. I want to make sure we get you connected. I'm going to share a link in a moment. So you don't really need to pay too much attention to this, except there's a lot going on. If you're looking for part-time employment, there's going to be a fair that hits the ground running right in September, all the way through the falls and spring terms to get you connected to our talent. And it's various price points depending on what you want to do and what kind of talent you're looking to connect with. So how do you get started? Okay, Dwayne, you said a lot. How do I actually get started in this? So I'm going to drop a link here to our Connect With Us form. It's very simple. You complete this form. Let us know what you're wanting to do. Don't worry too much about Handshake or any of that. Just start with this form, complete this form, And our team will get that form, and then we'll get you connected to a relationship manager who will get your organization started in recruiting. Could start with job postings, and then we'll build a strategy or program from there. We'll also help facilitate those connections across the university. The other site I want to make sure you have is our employer website here. And actually, I'm going to put this here. So this, or if you can't, that one doesn't work, this is the same one here. So usf.edu/recruit USF will take you to that same page where you can see all of our programs and activities, including the 2 special funded programs that I mentioned right there on that page. So I want to thank you for the time. I want to take questions. I know I covered a lot of information, but definitely want to make sure we leave time for questions and anything that might be on your mind that I can help support.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. I think it was very clear. I do have a few questions, as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. I'm sure other people have as well. Do we want to unmute some people, maybe?
That sounds good to me, Betty.
Yeah.
If someone has any question in the chat, just let me know and I will unmute you, André, Amandine, or Julie. And else I will be getting started soon too. And just so you know as well, I see that you dropped a lot of links here. I did take the presentation. It will be in the email that everyone who signed up for the webinar will receive the replay and this link.
Awesome.
Good. Thank you. Very interesting. So, Charles, you had a question. Start with you.
Yes, I will start. So you did mention that it's possible to get, for example, French-speaking students.
Yes.
Now, are those going to be international students, or will those be legally like green card holders, maybe, or American citizens?
Yes, thank you for that question. I don't know the breakdown of domestic versus international students in the French program specifically, but I have a feeling it's probably a mix of both. You're going to see domestic students who are taking French and studying French as a major, as well as international students from France who might be also choosing that. So I have a feeling, and I could, Charles, if you really want to know the breakdown, I'm happy to look that up. But I have a feeling it's going to be a mix of both types of students.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just say too, our international students have ways and through their work through their student visa to work for organizations in the community, both on short-term basis, things like internships, for example, as well as long-term after graduation too. And those come at no cost to employers. So if you found, let's say you found a French native student who is studying at USF and you want to have them come work for you for a while, we can help navigate the students through the various work permits that are allowed through their work visa that again would be at no cost to employers. Actually, the university and the student kind of sponsor or assume those costs. So I'm happy to talk to your members more about that as well.
That's awesome, actually. That's an amazing answer. I didn't know that at all, that it would be possible that way. I see Amandine also have some questions. Before I
Oh,
get to my
yes.
other questions, I will unmute you or ask you to unmute Amandine if you want to click.
Thank you, Dwayne, for the presentation. It was wonderful and very interesting. Maybe for the companies that are here or that will see the replay, can you confirm that the service is free, is no cost for the companies?
Yes, that's right. It is free to recruit with us. There are a multitude of services that are available for free. Job postings through Handshake, for example, are free. And we do all kinds of other things that are available to help support organizations for free. And then there are low-cost services, so things that you can add to that depending on what you want to do. And then really there's additional investment levels depending on what your needs are. So Amity, what we do when we work with different organizations is we listen to what your needs are and then help you design a plan based on your budget, based on your goals and what kind of talent you're looking to recruit. But yes, majority, I'd say 90% of our organizations recruit for free and are very successful, and will help support that as well.
Okay, perfect. And I suppose all the students are targeted through the Handshake, right?
Yes, yes. All students at USF are required to have a handshake presence. Advisors and career coaches across the university will have our students connect with our network of employers through handshake. That is the way that our employers connect with our students, is through that system. Now, certainly our students use other tools in their job search, but that is their way of working with our employer network. So they have a little bit of an advantage, right? Because they're connecting with employers who are interested in connecting with USF students. So yes, all students use Handshake across every major. There are, and again, through the Career Center, we'll help you cast as wide a net in your recruiting strategy as possible. As I mentioned, depending on what your kind of skills you're looking for, we'll want to make sure that we look at all the academic programs or colleges that could help with that. And, for some organizations, it doesn't matter what the person studies because they might provide the training and the support, the inside of their organization. So you can recruit all majors, or you get down to, I want to recruit a very specific major. We can help with that too. So yes, all students, targeted and custom designed.
Okay.
So, Dwayne, I have a question. Can you tell me how many French students you have at USF?
Ah, what's funny is I was preparing this presentation, I said, I bet you they're going to ask that question. And of course, I did not pull that number. Um,
Well,
and
well,
so
yeah,
if you don't mind, I could send that to you afterwards, and then you could
that
share
would be
that with
very
members.
interesting.
Yes, yes,
Yes, yes,
absolutely.
yeah,
And I want to also, I think we have a world languages major, and then French is one of the concentrations
yes.
under world languages. So I also may need to actually ask our French faculty to make sure that I have the accurate number, so that I don't give you the world languages number. So yes, I'm happy to look that number up and share that.
I would like to know also, vice versa, how many uh, students wants to learn French?
Oh, how
Yeah,
many students want to learn French?
yes, yes.
Hmm.
That would be
That's
interesting to know because I mean, if they're interested, some of our members, we have a lot of small businesses and they are not fluent in English, so
yes,
it's nice to communicate and exchange. They want to learn French and they want to learn English, so that would be
sure.
another, yeah, skill. Yeah.
You know what I can do is I could probably give you an idea of the average enrollment across
Yes.
all of our French courses on one given semester, and maybe that would help you. And obviously, there might be duplicates in that number, but it might give you a ballpark
An
idea.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah, because
exactly.
I took a year of French as a music major because voice majors, if you study classical voice, are required to take 1 year of French, 1 year of German, and 1 year of Italian. I only made it through French. And of course, I don't remember any of it, and I have a terrible French accent. But you'll see that there are students like that might be in our French classes as well, who are
Yeah.
taking it because of other academic interests.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Charles?
Yes, I do have another question actually. So, for example, for a marketing intern to
Yes.
post on social media for a company, let's say that it's a small company, so there's not much need or like not much work to do. So it would be a very small part-time. Would it be possible to join with other companies in the same industry? I'm thinking about the restaurant business to
Mm.
offer one internship.
Yes, if you have other colleagues that are interested in working together and sharing an intern, I think we'd love to partner with you on that. I think that's an excellent idea. What a
That's
way
excellent.
to offer a very meaningful experience for a student. Yes, absolutely.
Great. I see
Amadine?
also Modine asked a good question in the chat. Are internships mandatory for some of the majors at USF?
Yes, thank you for that. Internships get a little complicated because across 240 majors, it is very complicated. But yes, some majors are required to have internships. Other majors are not required, but are strongly encouraged and have their own internship process. And then other majors never talk about internships at all, and students can do them if they want, and if they do, great, and if not, they don't. Credit versus not credit, pay versus not paid, all very complicated and very unique depending on the pool of students. I think it's important to know that the days of something being unpaid and getting credit are not the same anymore. We're finding that employers who offer a paid experience, whether the students get credit or not, typically have a better experience. Students usually take it more professionally, and they have a better chance of recruiting students than for an unpaid experience. I think it makes sense given what we know about Gen Z's focus on job security, feeling secure with their finances. So what we'll do, Amadine, is we'll work with various organization or various student in organizations depending on what their targets are and who they ultimately hire. If they hire an intern and the intern expresses interest in getting credit, then our staff can work with that student to figure out the right channels to do that. Even in majors that have internship requirements, let's say at the junior year or the senior year, you might still have a freshman or sophomore who wants to get credit for that internship. So it can, again, it's very complicated because they might get that credit through our Career Center, even though they're going to eventually get credit through their major when they do the required experience. So it can get very complicated. So usually we just say, as employers are hiring, if someone expressed interest in, hey, I think I'd like to get credit for this, refer that student back to our office, and then we'll help navigate that for them.
Do you know by any chance if some or many students are interested in having an internship or finding a job in France, or do you deal even with that, or is there any other career center that would more do the international and worldwide help?
We will connect students with opportunities all across the globe. We're very interested in doing that. And yes, we do have students express interest in living and working abroad. I don't know about France specifically, but Betty, our partners at USF World might have an idea of how many students are studying abroad in France each year. And that might give us a clue into how many students are attracted to France as a potential place to start their career. But Amadine, we're the Career Center. We're certainly happy to help organizations, reach talent and promote opportunities in France.
Yeah. Yeah, we focus right now in here. So, yeah, I know there's some program for France.
Yes, but because of the title, maybe some students may have a look at this webinar as well. So maybe it's good for them to know that you are here and what you do on both sides.
Absolutely.
I do have a last question on my side, and I think I know the answer, but those positions are open for remote, for in-person, or for like a mix, right? Of meaning like it's both like have to come to work every day or fully like online, right?
Yes, when you post or are promoting opportunities to our office, we will post it and promote it. However, that work schedule is. If the position is fully in person, it'll be very clear in the language that it's fully in person. And again, students will apply for those opportunities if they're interested in working fully in person. I hope I went quickly through the slide on Generation Z, but it's very interesting about this generation's preferred work delivery. They are very open and ready for in-person work. But it's interesting, the study continues looking at that same generation, years 1 and 3 and 3 and 5 after graduation, and the desire for hybrid work continues to increase as students get further in their career, which I think makes sense, right? We all want some kind of flexibility, but the desire for fully virtual work is a very small number of students who want fully virtual. So yes, whatever the mode may be, we will help you find students that are interested in and willing to work in that mode.
Thank you. That was a very clear answer.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if anyone else has any questions. Betty, Amandine, André.
I don't have any question. I just wanted to say that thank you, Dwayne. And so if it's better to talk to you because there's so many information we had in like 25 minutes. For it's so much, and it's better that you have your information. Did you put your information in the chat or yeah?
I can put my email. I also
So
put our Connect with Us form, and I'll put that
yes,
in
so
here again.
Charles will send us
Yes,
because
your members are
I
more than welcome to contact me directly.
yeah.
contact my team. I'll even put that in here as
Yeah.
well. Or you can complete our form, and then our team kind of takes it from there. So
Yes.
we
So
are
at
ready
least
and
it's a
available.
one-on-one. Yeah, it's
That's
a
right.
coaching for us.
We are ready and
Because,
available
Yes.
however you reach out to us. Yes,
Dwayne, if you're
absolutely.
okay with that link with the form to reach out to you guys, I will put it in the email as well that everyone
Excellent.
that will receive. Yeah.
Please. That's probably the easiest way because we have a staff member that's monitoring that through all, throughout the whole day, as opposed to someone emailing me and then you kind of have to wait for me
Yeah.
to have a minute to check my email. Yeah, I think you'll get a lot faster service through the form.
Yeah.
But I promise we will make sure you get connected, whatever channel you come through.
Yeah, I just took a quick look at the forms and it's pretty easy.
Yes.
So yeah. So
Very quick.
I know it works.
Yes, it does. It does. It's very quick, very fast. Basically, just what are you interested in? And then we get you connected to someone on our team to help you get connected to that. Sometimes you have a simple question like, I'd like to post a job on Handshake, and we can just do that through email. It's super fast. Other times you might have an interest in getting more involved. And so we'll connect you with a relationship manager who can then work with you on that plan. So
Good. Well, thank you so much, Dwayne, for today's presentation and all the questions. I'm sure we will still have questions later on, but it's a good information.
yes, absolutely. And I'm happy to be available to your members to answer any questions or if other things come up as folks watch the webinar. And so please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy for it. And if there are other questions about things that come up about internships or other things, we're happy to put together additional tools and resources as well.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you,
It was
everyone. I just want to remind everyone that you will receive an email with the link for the replay, the link with the presentation, with the detailed presentation that you gave us, Dwayne, as well as the link to connect with USF. The replay will also be also on our website, in the email, and on our YouTube channel. And thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Betty.
Have a
Thank
great
you. It was an
weekend.
honor. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.